In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey didn't qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. Grandfather took Toto out of the bag to prove that it was a monkey, not a dog. But being a four footed animal, quadruped means four footed animal. Being a four footed animal, the ticket collector charged the ticket of Toto. It was the sum of rupees 3. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charged for all animals?" Then grandpa took a tortoise out of his bag and said, "How much I pay for this four-footed animal, as you are charging for animals?" The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it was not a dog." Then ticket collector looked at it closely and with a smile he answered, "No charges, it was not a dog." Prodded means pushed back. He pushed back it with its finger. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible for a bundle of hay. Apparent cause means without reason. Halter means a rope. Okay. Gradually, grandmother accepted Toto in the house and he was put in the stable with Nana, the female donkey. On his first night in the stable, grandfather saw Nana was stood far from his bundle of hay because the naughty monkey was teasing her. Toto held Nana's ears so that he tied his rope. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So, Nana slapped across her backside and took back Toto with him. Toto had bitten the ear of Nana. Toto and Nana never became friends. Toto and Nana, they never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evening was the large bowl of warm water given by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hands, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. In the winter season, he he had given a big bowl of warm water by grandmother to take a bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hands and gradually step foot into the bath tub. First, he stepped his first foot, then other, and he sat down on the tub until his neck was into the water up. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hand or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. Toto had an elaborate bathing ritual and enjoyed bathing with warm water and soap. When the water became cold, Toto would get out and turn to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. One day he succeeded boiling himself alive. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in, with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. Hauled means pulled up. One day a kettle had been put on the stove for making tea for the family. When nobody was there, he felt the water warm enough for bath. So he climbed in. As the water kept heating up, he kept hopping up and down until grandmother took him out. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. One day, at lunchtime, he entered the dining room. He found a plate of pulao on the dining table. He started eating suddenly. Grandmother screamed. Toto threw the plate on her, and one of my aunt got the glass of water on his face. When the Toto saw grandfather coming into the room, he ran away from window with dish. He sat on a jackfruit tree, determined to finish it. He broke the dish after eating. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpapers. So, grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Toto caused too much loss in the family. Finally, grandfather realized that Toto was not the type of pet to be kept in the house. He could not tolerate him anymore. At last, grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for rupees 3 and heaved a sigh of relief. That's all.